some free food, free drink, but they start to explain to you what timeshare looks like. We call it timeshare-based club. Then people start to pay, but they don't really get the idea how it works. So now we have more and more complaints happen. That's why they start to invite people to go to their hotel properties, which is a club, try the service, and decide if they are going to buy or not, instead of just a workshop. So now it's a combination of trying the product, trying the service, and then we do the selling to them. And then they decide if they are going to buy or not. We use the same concept to most of the clubs right now, including the fitness center. So actually, I can invite all of you to go to the gym that I go. Okay? Because I'm the member, and the gym also encouraged me to bring friends to go there. So I'm entitled to bring each one of you as my friend. You can go and try the members. Okay? Why they are doing that? Because they know if I just tell them, hey, gym is good, we can do some exercise. You're like, I don't need that. Say, hey, let's go together, it's free for you. And usually if you go there for one time, they'll charge you $300, but this is free for you. So you might be like, okay, I don't mind to go and check it out, see how it is. And maybe I like it, I don't like it. No, it doesn't matter. But when I bring you to the gym, the salesperson will try very hard after you use all the services. They'll approach you saying, do you want to join us? And we have different kind of membership. But that's the only way, and I would say not the only way, the most efficient way to attract people to join the members. Okay? Unless you already know the club, you already make sure that you want to do exercise in the fitness center. Otherwise, you wouldn't go there and say, hey, can you introduce me about your club? And I want to try. So you will see a lot of clubs, they actually use this kind of referral. I bring you, and then they give you a free trial, and then will even encourage me as a member, saying, if you bring one friend to join the club member, you can get one extra free month, to use the facility and services. So I'll just put away my conscience and my kindness. I say, go. If you join them, I can have one more free month. Okay? Well, and that works, So now and then they'll just encourage all the members. I see some club, they even have this, family day. It happens maybe twice a year. One is at the very beginning of the year, one is in the center of it. What they try to do is they will have some events going on. Sometimes it's like barbecue. Some of them is like, making burgers, free pizzas. And then you bring your friends and families over there. And maybe that's the first time and the only time they were in the club. They're like, oh, the service is good. Maybe I don't mind to pay $30 per month to join the club as well. Okay? So they have different kind of strategy because all the service are tangible. We try to help the future customer to visualize the possible service and products they are getting from the club. Okay? So some of the clubs, they even don't want you to bring your friends, but you as a member, you need to be there. Just like I can bring 8 of you to Costco, okay? Because I have the member, I can bring up to 2 people. But when you get to, I cannot give it to you because all the picture is there. After you try the service, probably you want to buy the membership yourself. Okay? So that's the difference that when you want to sell a membership, since the service is tangible, and then it might vanish, and then you can, if you don't use the service, it might be expired. So we try to encourage the people to go and use the service. Okay? And then usually the service is produced by the club employees. But if we have so many club employees over there, nobody come and use the service, I cannot keep my service over there, just like a trainer. I have 5 trainers here, but if nobody hire the trainers to do the service, the good thing is I as a gym, I don't pay for the trainers. So they need to try their best to get their members who want to try their service. If there's no members that day, they don't make any money. They just stay there. Some of the companies are nice enough, say, hey, if you don't have customer, you can do exercise here. So you can see most of the trainer. They go there just because they can have a free session, they can always work out, and it's free. Okay, so you can see a different way of running them. Okay, so in the club, I want to mention this fact: personal selling. That is very important when we run the club. And also, it's one of the important strategies you will use for marketing. Just like an example I mentioned earlier, we use personal selling. I ask you to bring your friends or family, introduce them to the club. If they join, I might give you extra, discount. And that person, if they are introduced by a friend who is already a member of the club, they might also get some special bonus. So that will become a win-win situation. But what we try to do is we want to bring that person to a club, so they will understand what is going on with the club. Okay? Otherwise, even up to today, we still have a lot of customers. They think that they don't need to join the fitness center. It's totally fine to run in the street or even jog in the park. Okay? If they don't see the need, they don't even bother to try that. Right? And then you can focus on kind of customer. I have a colleague from the school. We went to the same gym. But she didn't do exercise over there. She went there just to take a shower. I never understand why. That's the whole reason she and her husband go to the fitness center to use a sauna, use a shower, use the service over there. I'm the opposite way. I've been joining this club for 10 years. I never use the sauna and shower and everything. I just go there to do exercise. Because I see some students there, and I don't like, it's kind of embarrassing to take a shower and all that. So everyone have their different needs from the club. So as a salesperson, you need to know which part you should focus. You can say we have this free sauna, and then we have the service that you will not have a facility at home. Okay, so that might they might attract people to go. Right. So by doing that, you need to understand buyers' behavior. Some of you already take my consumer behaviors class. You also need to apply that to managing the club. Again, club is something unique from the regular service setting. It's different from just selling the product or a service. You are selling your service to a regular buyer in a way that they use your service frequently enough that they want to pay ahead of time. They want to become member of your club. So you need to identify who are more willing to try them. I think the blind dating service is a very successful business model. If you remember, they have a promotion, say that if you got married, they are going to refund you or they are going to give you extra bonus. So they are telling you that you might find your future husband or wife with a club. And if you do, we'll refund you the money. But if you don't, you can keep coming back to us. Okay? So we do have a lot of this kind of matchmaking service in the market already. Okay? And then you try to create a motivation. Maybe they never see the needs of joining the Telstar club, or join the fitness, or join the gaming club. But now you show it to them and you motivate them. Okay, maybe there's a needs. I can have some blind dates going on, and they give me the free food and everything, and that's my social activities over there. Okay, and then we also have this decision-making process. So you need to identify why people would like to go to the club and what kind of service that you might provide to the customers. Okay, so you have so many clubs that you can choose, and then the branding is important. Since we have one class talking about Telstar, let's see how Telstar build their branding, and see if you can, based on their branding strategy, and develop. If you make it like a club, if you manage that and become a club, how can you sell the membership? Are you a Gogoro owner? How many of you have Gogoro? Not really. Have you study about the Gogoro branding? Okay, so Gogoro is an electronic scooter, right? And we are not going to talk about the scooter itself. Scooter is a scooter, it's more environmental friendly. But because of Gogoro, they also have a club. But that's not charged by Gogoro. The concept is more like all the Gogoro users will become a club and they will share the information. And not just like that. If you are a Gogoro user, you have your own app and you can find a closer friend who is around the area. And sometimes they will arrange social events. Like, okay, from Kaohsiung we have a Gogoro club. Traveling from Kaohsiung to Taichung, and they ride it together. Okay, so that in a way becomes the club. If you don't have a Gogoro, you say, I'm going to drive my Yamaha with you. No, you cannot. To be one of the Gogoro club. Same thing with Tesla. They have several clubs like that. They go with the same brand of the car. Like you see like Red Ford Club. I see Tesla Club. So those kind of people, they will gather together and they will become the kind of club they join. So branding is important. So I want to use this video. It's not exactly the club concept, but we can borrow what they talk about Tesla. They have some important thing that how they build this particular brand. So you can use the same concept. I have so many clubs. How can I make my club different than others? When they think about my club as a brand, they want to come to my club instead of others. And that's all because of the branding parts. Let's see how this tells us to the branding. So sounds. Voice is so low. They have a subtitle. One is not good. Let's skip this. I'll post the link to Moodle. Otherwise, we cannot hear you. What? I did. It's already.
Scroll down.
Join the next one. Borrow the key. Okay, when you go to them, tell them the volume of the microphone in this room is not good. So it's too low. So hopefully next time will be better. Okay, anyway, I'll post the link to you, so let's continue. Okay, so brand is important. Okay, so when you start with your own brand, nobody realizes that. And how do you sell it? To a way that people recognize it and you motivate people to join your club. That's a key. Okay? And then we have when we run the club, somehow we need to know the family life circle. Okay? The reason is we try to sell the members. At least for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. Sometimes we sell it for a lifetime. Okay? Just like that, college students, fitness center. College student will graduate, so how can I make the product with a longer time of operation, which make it sustainable? But at the same time, we also need to know different family lifestyle. Okay? So we have different lifestyle, and then sometimes you need to think ahead of time because I'm selling a long-term members. And then family style might change. Okay? So how can I make sure that they will still coming back to the service, and then they will still have, they don't have any problem using this kind of service. This is kind of extreme in a way that the club concept starts from Western culture. Okay? For example, in America, we have a lot of clubs, but their divorce rate is also very high. So what if we just, newly get married and we decided to join the club from this, Marriott Resort Club, and we are very happy when we first get married, and we decided we are going to buy this member. After 10 years, they get divorced, and then they have kids. So now membership, can they be separated? Can they resell it? But we're like, I'm not going to travel with my ex-wife anymore. How about my members? What should I do with it? Okay, so to deal with it, and then they can probably decide, okay, the membership go for the husband or go for the wife. How about the value of the club? Okay, and then if they can, maybe they can say, okay, even you get divorced, you can still use the members. I give you one card, give you one card, you can still use it together. Okay, so we are making some extreme examples, but that's what happened in the reality. If you are trying to sell for a long-term member, the life circle of a family would get involved with your membership style. Okay, so that's why in this case they mention about different cases, like you are young divorced with children, middle-aged divorced with children, or middle-aged divorced without dependent children, and each one of them would cause different situations using the club. Okay, if they are not children anymore, they are adults, probably they cannot they cannot use your membership. Okay? But if they are young children, probably they can still use it. And then they also go through different, financial situation. So you also need to think about who are the members, who are your major members. We have some clubs, they focus on the retired people, which makes perfect sense. Retired people, usually they are relatively wealthier because they have the retirement money to spend. The other thing is they have extra time. So if you say, hey, you come to the club, you can use this facility and the service over there, probably they have higher motivation. They feel that they don't have to work. They can go there every day, every time they want. So if you go to certain club, you will see most of them are retired people because they can literally spend their whole day. They can have their lunch over there, chat with their friends, read books over there, and then even buy a dinner home, and then do some exercise, take some yoga classes. So club becomes something that they need to go on a daily basis. And that's one of the club you can run. Okay? Then we also have different things that we need to consider for the product itself. How do you position in your club? Are you going to be identified as a high-end club, only get the high-end customers? Or you are going to be a club that can take some college students? Or what's the life circle? Can my club keep growing or get to one point is coming down? We see some clubs already go to the decline parts. The reason is all the clubs, they have a capacity. You cannot keep getting unlimited members. If I get too many members, as I said, the room will be too packed. Customer will start to complain. And that happens to a high-end club. If I only take customers that they can pay for the lifetime members, I can only take up to 100 and I cannot sell it to more. So we do see some luxury club. They don't take any new members anymore. Because if they say my member can pass by to the next generation, I can only take 100 because whoever died, passed away, or get divorced or whatsoever, they can pass by to their relatives and families. But my facility, my room, my services can be only luxury and good enough for 100 users. So I cannot sell more. Because if I sell more, the quality of my service will decline. And that's not what I want. If I'm running a high-end club, I need to make sure I don't oversell. I only pick up the most qualified customers in the market. By that, I'll use referral or I use the invitation. I'll make sure I pick up the most qualified most qualified customers in the market. And I can survive from these 100 members because they already pay ahead of time and because they are wealthy enough and I make sure that my service is good. We do have some club play that kind of rules. We provide the food and beverage, we provide a place for them to hang out, but I don't open to too many people. It's the selected customers. We also have some gym. They just keep taking members, as many as possible. Get to a point that they have complained, saying the service is bad, this and that, and then it's going to eventually affect your business. Okay? I think World Gym in Taiwan is one example. They do take too many members. And then get to one point, the customers start to complain about the service quality and all that. And then again, as a manager, you are going to decide, should I stop to take more members or, I don't care, I just get as many members and then to sell as many as possible. Okay? And the next part is, okay, so most of the club, we need to go through this. As I mentioned earlier, personal selling is important for the marketing activities. When you sell the club. The other thing important is the direct mail. But now we don't really get mail anymore, right? So now newsletter or emails are more important. But again, for those luxury ones, it's hard to check the emails and say, okay, I want to try the club. In reality, it hardly happens. So what we do is personal selling, especially if it's a fitness center, golf club, or a hotel club. It's by someone refer to you or I send out the invitation. The other thing, more like the club is, I think you mentioned that earlier, I think Netflix, in a way, is a club. You pay your membership. In that case, you don't have to have any invitation. Probably you can try the service just because you see the free trial or you receive an email and then you want to try and you don't mind to pay 1 year membership for that. Okay? Even the Food Panda try to use the concept of membership. How many of you are the frequent user or big lover of Food Panda? Okay? Okay. So before they have this service, okay, of course it's a free, they want to have this free delivery service. At the very beginning, they don't know how many people are willing to use a free delivery. So they say if you are willing to pay $49 per month, if you order up to 120, I'm making up a number. If you order $120, then you can use a free shipping, but you need to pay $49. And then we do the math. $49 is not much. But if I can order it twice, I make my $49 back. So they try to market, say, okay, people accept ideas and they accept the service. So now they have another concept, and they have another new product. They say if you are willing to pay for the annual membership for free delivery, they charge you for $1,000, for example. Okay, so it's literally about $90 per month. Okay, so you do the math, still like, okay, it's good, even it's more expensive than the promotion time is $49. But they are tricky. They say if you are not going to pay this 1 year free shipping, free delivery service for $1,000, you can do it in a monthly way. And every month they will charge you $130. So you do the math, like, okay, if I pay for the annual membership, it's literally like 30% off. exactly the same style you decide for your blind dating service. Okay, you go for a shorter time. Last week I see they use a calculator to make sure that 1 month is more expensive than 6 months. 6 months is more expensive than 1 year. So you play with the customer's concept, knowing that the more they buy, the cheaper they are. Okay, so direct sales newsletter sometimes very important. Alright, then you can go through some sales promotions, so you can have some advertisements, or you can use some public relations to sell your products. We see that in most of the events, if there is like a farmer's market, you often see Costco have a stand over there. They try to sell their membership. So they will consider this kind of events. They go there and try to sell their membership. Okay? Of course, you have some web-based communication. You try to sell your service online. Pricing is another thing which is important for you guys. Okay, so you decide how much you are charging. Last week, every team proposed a price, right? And then that price shouldn't just come out with like, okay, I think $199 is good. It is why $199 is good. Or maybe you already do your study. You need to do a study. You need to do a customer study, knowing what are the price offered by the competitors. But what if you are the only and the first one doing that? Again, probably you can go and ask the customer, how much are you willing to pay for the gym membership? You're like, oh, $1,000. And then you evaluate if $1,000 is something that you can make profit out of it. Okay? And then so you can do like competitive pricing. As long as you are cheaper than your competitors, you might have a market. Okay? So if I'm Foodpanda, I would always check how much Uber Eats is charging for the delivery fees. If Uber Eats is charging for $100 per month and I charge for $80, I have the potential to get the customer to my service. Okay, so competitive pricing is one of the ways that when you are doing the pricing. Okay, then you can do this psychological pricing, like you always use $1.99, $1.49, okay, 99 cents. Just don't give them like a round number, so they will feel, oh, it's expensive, but actually it's only $1 difference. Okay, and then of course you can do some trial. And we are doing the soft opening. We do the soft opening in a way that we don't know how the market is going to act on my pricing. So I give them my club membership for $9.99. I feel nobody joined us. Or people complain it's too expensive compared with the service they receive. So I try and nobody joined them. And then I will have this promotion. I say $7.99. I say promotion, but actually I know that will be my lifetime promotion. It's always there. But after a few years, your customer might realize, okay, you are always $7.99. So maybe it's not a real promotion. Okay, so you still need to know how customers perceive your pricing. But it's totally fine that you can have this try and error. Fix your pricing strategy. Sometimes it's too high, sometimes it's too low, and then you can fix it accordingly. Okay? So before we take a break, this is something I'm going to ask you to do. When you come back, we will do this part. Okay? So the same team with your last week. Okay? I think you have almost the same members. If you only came this week, you are not here last week, just join any team that you want. So I want you to choose a club who decided to run last week, and you are going to do the SWOT analysis. Internal and then external. So you need to know your strength, your weakness, your opportunities, and the threats. Okay? I give you the freedom to choose either, for example, you have Telstar. Are you going to compete with other cars market? Or your competitors, you can consider about another 3 club operators, and they will be your competitors. So you can decide either within the same type of club, or just look around this class, you have another 3 clubs to compete with in that area, right? Okay. And then I also want you to go further. Try to answer the 3 questions. The first one is, how do you define your product classification? Are you consider that as a luxury brand, or it's the regular brand? And are they the convenience good? Convenience good is like something you need to buy on your daily life or on your day, like a regular base. Specialty good is something special. If something is not necessary, but if I have it, it may be present for my social status, or it shows me that I have a certain kind of lifestyle. Okay, so define what kind of services or goods you provide from your car. How do you do your pricing? Last week I see all the pricing. This way I want you to think more details. Maybe you think I'm selling it too cheap. This week just Google around to see what's the market price in Kaohsiung. Okay? Then maybe you are going to change your pricing strategy. The last one, how do you approach your customer? Either you are going to do like a personal selling or newsletter or we call it computer-based communication, or you want to send out the flyers. Okay? Right, so this is what we are going to do after the break. Let's take a 10 minutes break.